When it comes to video game genres, I think we can all agree that first-person shooters are the current kings of video games. I mean seriously, there are like over 100 of first-person shooters on every console. Well, almost. So with so many great FPSs, narrowing it down to 10 isn't easy since so many people are going to have different views and opinions. But hey, this is my list and it's all my opinion. And please note we're only having one game per franchise on this list. Plus I have not played every first-person shooter in existence. Some of your favorites like Fear, Counter-Strike and Quake won't be on this list. And by the way, these are first-person shooters, not on-rail shooting games like House of the Dead or third-person shooters like Gears of War. And plus, as much as I love this, I am not including the Metroid Prime games, as they are considered to be first-person adventures rather than shooters. So with that said, let's get started.
I have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Ah yes, BioShock. One of the most surprising games of 2007, and also considered to be one of the best, if not the best, game of that year. And yeah, while BioShock is good, it doesn't hold a candle to BioShock 2. Doing what all good sequels do, BioShock 2 expanded upon everything that worked in the first game, and made it 10 times better. Bigger levels, bigger weapons, bigger, more unique plasmids, a bigger world to explore, more enemies to fight, and of course the one key thing that was missing from the first game, multiplayer. Thanks to BioShock 2, we could take those skills we learned in Rapture and use it against players all over the world. Man, this game is awesome! I mean sure, the game isn't perfect, but damn is it one of my favorite shooting games and definitely better than its predecessor.
I have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Because of the recent surge of first-person shooter games, it's easy for many games of this genre to become lost among the midst of many more popular titles. So how do you make your game stand out from the crowd? You kill with skill, that's how! Oh yeah, taking the idea of killing someone and adding the concept of using both imagination and skill, Bulletstorm is one of the most creative shooting games to date. The game encourages you to think outside the box and kill people in the most imaginative ways possible. You want to blow someone's head off while they're free falling? Go for it. You feel like impaling someone with a cactus? You got it. Fuck headshots! Instead, blow a guy's limbs off as he slowly comes flying towards you. I mean, get creative! Even without the whole kill with skill thing, Bulletstorm is still a fun first-person shooter with lots of great weapons and maps to play on. But the fact that you can kill in many different ways as possible had to land this game a place on my top 10.
I have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Now we all know that Valve is one of the best companies when it comes to making first-person shooters. I mean look at some of their works like Half-Life and Portal, and of course Left 4 Dead 2. Now the first Left 4 Dead was a great FPS and a very fun zombie survival game, but the second pretty much improves on it in every single way, adding new characters, weapons, zombies and so on. The game is also a lot of fun to play, especially with friends, and the increased amount of stages and zombies gives this game a lot of replay value, plus the new melee weapons add a lot more depth to the game and makes it for a greater experience. If you love the first Left 4 Dead or zombie games in general, you should definitely give this game a try and don't leave it for dead.
Failure. I have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Many people consider this to be the granddaddy of all first-person shooters, and I couldn't agree more. Doom is one of the most influential first-person games ever made, thanks to it being one of the first-person perspective games at that time, which was new, and it helped lay the groundwork for many first-person shooters that followed. But aside from the obvious, Doom itself is simply an awesome game. There are so many weapons to use and bad guys to kill. The single player is great fun and incredibly epic, and the multiplayer is still top-notch to this day. Doom doesn't even feel very dated, which is very difficult for a lot of first-person shooters to achieve. And blasting hellstorms in the head with a shotgun never gets old. Doom is a man's game, and an awesome game.
I have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
I know I'm gonna get so much hate for this, but I'm not a big Halo fan. Now I'm not saying Halo sucks, no, far from it. I just find Halo to be rather slow or a bit gimmicky at times, and the entire series itself seems rather overrated. Now most people think that the first Halo is the best in the series, but personally, I thought the second Halo was the best. I don't exactly know why, but this game just seems to be a better package. I mean, the vehicles are as fun as ever, and the maps are great, Plus, the introduction of the energy sword is enough to make any hardcore Halo fan wet their pants. Also, I really like the single player campaign despite the crappy ending, and the multiplayer is yet to be matched by any Halo game in my opinion. To this day, no other Halo game has given me nearly as much enjoyment as this game, which is why I think it deserves a soft spot at number 6.
Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
You know, it's a real shame that the series pretty much died after Time Splitters 3 because while the first game and third game were a mess, Time Splitters 2 was just plain amazing. Unlike most modern first-person shooters, Time Splitters 2 does not take itself seriously for 1 second, and the amount of characters you can use and the way they look and act is just unbelievable, and this craziness is reflected when playing multiplayer. I mean, holy shit, this game is freaking insane! The maps are crazy and great fun to play on, and the matches in various game modes are so frantic and bizarre that it's hard not to have fun while playing this game. It's completely insane! The single player is also very good too, and it isn't as insane as the multiplayer, which helps to balance out the game, but even so, Time Splitters 2 is just so insane and so awesome. I mean, this game is insane!
Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Okay, now before you people start getting all crazy on me, let me state that I am not putting Call of Duty on here just because it's so damn popular. In fact, I'm not a huge fan of Call of Duty to begin with. Like the Halo games, World at War, Black Ops, Modern Warfare 2 and 3 are all good games, but they're not really spectacular. With that said, however, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is easily the best in the series and one of my favourite first-person shooters. For me, this is the game that got everything right. The story, the single player, the weapons, the maps, the multiplayer, everything, the whole game just felt so complete and kept me playing for months on end. Unlike most Call of Duty games and modern FPSs in general, this one didn't try to go overboard with things like maps, perks and weapons, and so this made the game feel a lot more simplistic and streamlined, and in this case it really worked. I mean, to this day, this is the only Call of Duty game where I've played the campaign more than once just for fun, not for achievements, just for fun. And the multiplayer, both local and online, was so addicting. Top that with great controls, awesome graphics and addicting gameplay, and Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare is one Call of Duty that should never be seen as overrated.
Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
As I stated before, Left 4 Dead 2 was one of Valve's greatest creations, but Team Fortress 2 is their greatest creation, at least I think. Unlike most first-person shooters, there's no single player involved in this game. Team Fortress 2 is strictly multiplayer based and is completely team based, which makes playing this game with a lot of people even more fun. What I love so much about Team Fortress 2 is, of course, the characters. These characters have so much colour and personality to them that you'll play as them just to hear them speak. Plus, each character is different and they all add something to the game and can determine how well the team does, which gives this game a lot more replayability and depth. There's also a great sense of balance in this game, because every class has its strengths and weaknesses, but no one class can easily dominate the competition. And hell, each class is fun to play as regardless of your playstyle, with my personal favourites being the Scout and the Pyro. While there's no single player, and that's kind of the point, the intense multiplayer matches really make up for this crazy fun first-person shooter.
Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Now you may look at this game and think, shit, this game looks so dated by today's standards, it must suck. Well, you'd be wrong, because even after 10 years, Perfect Dark is still one of the greatest first-person shooters and Nintendo 64 games ever made. Being developed by the same company that did GoldenEye, it comes as no surprise as to why this game is so amazing. It pretty much took the overall idea structure of GoldenEye and gave it a sci-fi twist. The levels were awesome, the single player and multiplayer kept me coming back for months, the weapons were amazing, and the game kicks ass in so many ways. Now, many people don't like the game because it's pretty much GoldenEye with different weapons, characters and settings, but to be honest, is that really a bad thing? This is GoldenEye we're talking about. The fact that it borrows so much from the game is reason enough to like this game, and man, do I love this game. Too bad every Perfect Dark game sucks, especially Perfect Dark Zero. Ugh.
Be polite. Be efficient. Have a plan to kill everyone you meet.
Oh yeah, like this was a big shocker. But let's be honest here, people. This is GoldenEye we are talking about here. I mean, with the exception of Doom, no game on this list would even exist. And that's the reason I give this game the #1 spot, because it's not just the innovation that makes this game so great. The game itself is a huge amount of fun. The missions are very interesting and provide a lot of replay value. Both the single player and multiplayer are near perfection. Just to let you know, I have played the remake on the Wii, and I really do like the game. It doesn't meet the standards of the original. Plus, even after 15 years, I can still pop in GoldenEye and have a great time. So the game has definitely stood the test of time. In short, the original GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64 is one of the greatest games ever made, and it's definitely my favorite first-person shooter of all time. I've been CRASHX500, and I'll see you guys later.